We're entering a week with very intense diplomatic activity, and it should be said, one in which the Israeli government has floundered. It has not succeeded in, it hasn't managed to stem the tide of countries that are about to recognize a Palestinian state in the way that it hoped, with Portugal joining these nations just a few hours ago. And it is gearing up, like other countries in the world, for its leader to address the United Nations, this one big annual shindig of foreign leaders in New York. Prime Minister Netanyahu will fly to New York, and he's scheduled to give his speech Friday afternoon, late-ish Friday afternoon. But with that all said, nothing is happening on the ground. The Israeli army is by and large engaged in the process you just mentioned of trying to empty out Gaza City of Gazans, and not just Gazans, of all those, in the terms of Gaza City, all those residents of Gaza who have already fled other places where they lived and found refuge in Gaza City. They are among those who now have to leave again. We have seen satellite images that show some of the these internal refugee camps in the area of Gaza City that have been emptied out, but this is very slow going. It's not what Prime Minister Netanyahu promised his people, and it's not what he promised Donald Trump, who was assured that this was going to be some kind of shock and awe operation, fairly quick, and that Hamas would be vanquished. What we're seeing on the ground is a very slow Israeli advance, a grinding war. 6 Israeli soldiers were killed in the last 2 days, but they were killed 4 by an IED and 2 in a terror attack in a completely different area on the border with Jordan. So what we're seeing really is a grinding stalemate and a failure of diplomacy. There are currently no talks underway even for this war to come to an end, for a ceasefire, for any situation in which residents of Gaza could get a breather, and for Israelis, their hostages might be released. Nothing like that is underway. So we're going to see a big parade of diplomacy in New York, but behind the scenes, the Gaza war continues really to be a failure of diplomacy, and is offering people on both sides of this conflict a very, very grim future right now.